ticket.
Warrior. Thief. Gladiator.
How's it going, y'all? Rowdy Riles back with another video. So this is a figure I was really excited for when I saw the pre-orders, and then it came out and it's really expensive, and I was like, do I really need this? Do I really want it that badly? And then I went to ToyTuber Expo. Shout out to Articulate Ninja for putting together that awesome con, and I got this figure in hand. Someone had it out for people to mess with, and I started messing with it. Dang, I really need this figure. So it was $75 there. I had already spent all my money. So I went on Big Bad Toy Store and paid full retail price for Conan from Frazetta Grils. I've never had a Frazetta Grils figure. So it was an experience. I've already got him out of the box at this point. But regardless, with all that being said, let's take a closer look at the box and we'll get this bad boy open. Conan the Barbarian. Taking a look at the front of the box, you can see we have some gorgeous artwork. It says Conan, and then we got Conan the Barbarian fighting a horde of enemies. Frazetta Icon Collectibles 1/12 scale action figure. It really is some very nice artwork on the front of this box. Just a pile of bodies under Conan the Barbarian. Taking a look at the back of the box, we get a bunch of labels. It says Frazetta Grils, Frazetta Icon Collectibles. We get his name once again, and it says Scan Me. There's a QR code up there at the top. All of the accessories that are included. And then we get a little blurb about what's included. Nothing about Conan, so not too worried about what it says on the back. I don't want to spoil the accessories and all that stuff. Top of the box. Bottom of the box. Some more promo shots on the side. Conan 1/12 scale action figure. Titles on this side. And with all that being said, we do get a flap that opens up. The figure's already out, but we do get a blurb on the inside. Nice shot of the figure all kitted out. And then we've got a quote down here. There's no point trying to sell anybody a very realistic, graceful figure. Come now, this is Conan, you know? He's got to have huge muscles, powerful. He's got to look like Howard described him so that the readers can identify with him and believe. Frank Frazetta, 1967. Nice little quote there. Let's see if this Conan is king. LOL.
Out of an age undreamed of comes the most incredible adventurer of all.
Here is our Frazetta Grils Conan the Barbarian out of the box. And first thing I want to say, what an absolute unit of a figure. This dude is big and beefy, and he articulates well, and he feels like a solid hunk of plastic. So that is the first compliment he will get. Sculpt is gorgeous. We got all kinds of sculpted detail. Look at those muscles. The head sculpt is very nice. He's got some darker skin because he's Conan the Barbarian. He's always outside doing barbarian stuff. You know, he's got his loincloth with the studs and the rivets and loops. Same on the bracelets, which one of them is, I don't know why they included it outside of the or in the packaging, but you had to put that one on. That's right in front of you right now. We got an arm bangle. The muscles are sculpted very well, and the articulation is fantastic. Coming down to his leather boots down here, which are all brown. There's paint, but I thought he would have more of a wash, which it's better this way because he'll fit even better with the boss fight Red Sonja. But he looks fantastic. I really have no complaints as to the look or feel of this figure. Very happy with what came out of the box. I don't have any experience with Frazetta beforehand, so this is my first Frazetta figure. I know people were getting the Tila and Death Dealer and all that stuff before, but Conan, I've been missing a Conan in my collection because, you know, he used to be published by Marvel Comics, so did Red Sonja, but not anymore. That's the reason that Shumagoroth is not eligible for Marvel to use that name. They use Gigantos because Shumagoroth is a Hyborian realm name / character, which is what Conan's world is. So, you know, they can't use that because they don't own the rights anymore. But regardless, if you at all are familiar with Conan, you'll know there was a Marvel Comics run. There's a Red Sonja Marvel Comics run. There was a lot of crossover with Doctor Strange in that area. So if you like swords and sorcery and you like Marvel, then Conan could fit in one of your shelves if you really want to. So there's a little history lesson on Conan the Barbarian. Checking out our Frazetta Conan scale, he stands at about almost 7 inches, if not at 7 inches. Let's see. No, six and I'm so bad at this. I don't know why I do it. 6 3/4. So pretty big figure. A little taller wouldn't have hurt, but I don't mind either way. Now I was playing with him a little bit and I did notice some quirks with the articulation that I'm not too pleased about. So we're going to go over the articulation really quick. Not really quick. We're going to be thorough like we always are. All right, starting at the head, forward, backward. But if you wanted to take his hair off, the backward goes a little bit further. There's not too much movement on the back, but the side to side is nice. And as you can see, the head just plugs in, or the hair just plugs in, which is a nice way to change head sculpts and keep costs down, I guess. Torso goes forward, backward, not too much at the ab, but we do have a slight waist cut that you can't really turn the whole way, so it doesn't really add too much to there, so that's a little limited. Shoulders come up 90 degrees. It's nice the hinge is hidden by the shoulder, but there's no bicep cut. It is very movable. As you can see, it kind of like turns. It's almost like it has a bicep cut up at the shoulder, but it would have done with a bicep cut. Single joint elbows that go back that far and forward that far, so about 90 degrees. Legs come forward that far. There is no thigh cut, but it's the same engineering. Oh goodness. It's the same engineering, so it's hidden. The joint is hidden by the sculpt, so you do get some side-to-side movement there. Butt kicking action, Conan can do that. There is no boot cut, and we get slight ankle rockers. Nothing. Nice pivot though. So it is a collector's figure. It is a more like sculpt over articulation. Sorry, my hair's in the way. But there's a couple things they could have done. Like you definitely need a thigh cut and a bicep cut when it comes to a barbarian. That's just my opinion. But I still really like this figure. I digress. You can see we got some scars in that sculpt too. That's pretty nice. It's very veiny, very vascular dude. That's the word. And then we have a buttload of accessories. So let's go over that. First of all, you get some nice weaponry. We get a nicely tarnished and painted shield. Looks like it's seen many a battle. Looks like it was hammered by hand. So nice sculpt, nice detail on that. We get a larger battle axe, which also painted and detailed very nicely. Like it's seen some battles, seen some wars. Only wooden part is right there in the middle. A smaller battle axe that has a little bit of rust, a little bit of smudge and stuff on the sculpt. Looks great. Some dents, some nicks. Great looking weaponry. We get a small, very tiny dagger, which unsheaths. Actually very pointy, so you could probably stab someone with that. Scabbard is nice and detailed and painted with some bronze colored paint. And then we get a sword, which is kind of curved, also very pointy. And the cool thing about this scabbard is it has a chain. I think it's supposed to go on his back. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. But it is a little limited. I'm afraid that I might hurt the chain. But scabbard, once again, detailed, painted nicely. Lots of cool stuff on there. We get an alternate neutral faceplate with a helmet. And like this, you can take the hair off if you want him to have his hair rolled up back there. It just plugs back into there. And then, for instance, to take this off, you just put it on there. And Conan's got a helmet. So God, my hair keeps getting in the shot. The knife you can just put on his belt like this. It clips on there. Kinda, if I can get under there. Hello, come on. Please. There we go. Just like that. Put it on his side. Shield, buckler, and all that stuff. And then the last thing that we get is a bunch of hands. So posing hands, gripping hands, and fists for just doing that old barbarian range of punching things. So lots of accessories. He was a $90 figure. Man, I wish I had scooped him at Toy Tuber Expo for $75. I feel like that's a more fair price for him because there's some issues, but I still really like him overall. I don't have very many issues, just slightly with the articulation. And yeah, other than that, super solid figure.
So, the only man that can have you is one who has tried to kill you. That's logic.
First up for scale comparison, here he is with Boss Fight Red Sonja and a Boss Fight customized skeleton. I gave it a black wash. I made its joints tighter and I put a barbarian helmet on him so that I would have a skeleton for Red Sonja and Conan to fight, but I do have some other stuff to compare them to that's kind of in the same realm. And I will also say that the Red Sonja scales so well next to this boss fight, or not boss fight, the boss fight Red Sonja scales very well next to Frazetta Conan. I was worried he would be a little bit too short, but I think the size difference is pretty dang perfect. He's like 6'5", she's like 5'10". It works. Here he is with Barbarian Santa and an Owlbear. For some more indie comic stuff, here he is with Big Head and Vampirella. Big Head's Mezco, Vampirella's Loose Collector. And lastly, here he is with Hiya Toys Judge Dredd and Marvel Legends She-Hulk. The only, well, actually I think the Owlbear was obviously bigger, but the only normal human-ish character that's taller than him that I've shown, I believe. But yeah, that's a good comparison, right?
If you yield only to a conqueror, then prepare to be conquered, little Sonja.
So with all that being said, y'all, I am very impressed. Mostly, there's some slight hiccups, but that's every figure, right? With this Frazetta Girls Conan, it's my first Frazetta figure. Very bulky, very brutal looking. Definitely fits the bill for a Conan figure. Scales nicely with Red Sonja here, so I dig that. I'm gonna do outdoor photography, so pictures are not gonna be in here because this vibe is not just like my Red Sonja photography. I need to go outside and take it outside because it's a barbarian and it doesn't do it justice being in a warehouse back alley kind of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna go outside to take pictures. I'm gonna touch some grass. If y'all like this video, smash like, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, become a channel member for 99 cents. Comment, let me know what you think of this figure, if you picked him up, if you skipped, if you have a different Conan, how your day is going, just say hey. Do all that stuff. If you're protesting, be safe, keep your head up, stay brave, be kind to your local LGBTQ community. I love y'all. I will see you next time, and bye-bye.
Hey!
Are you all right?
Yes, Prince.
Just wait 1 minute. I'm watching this new Rowdy Rolls video and it's really awesome. I don't want to miss it.
It's like this chick that reviews action figures and it's really freaking cool.
Yes, I think they saw some videos. There's some really good contents out there, you know?
She reviews the ponies and stuff because you knows I love ponies.
She doesn't review ponies. It's freaking cool stuff, Toki.